Hello, I am in Upper Bidwell in Chico, North California. That's where I live. And this is my backyard. Just look at this. We're going down this path to the creek, which is full of water because it is a very rainy time at this moment. And so wonderful after all this drought that we've had, that now all this rain is falling and the creek is rushing. Just fantastic to be here. And there's nobody here. I'm just here by myself. And look how beautiful this is here. And what better place is there to talk with you about embodied language? Yeah, the language of nature. Yeah, the language of water flowing down the hill. Yeah, that's what that is. Oh, look at that. The place where I always like to sit is completely submerged in water. And so I cannot even go there today. So I'll be here on this place and I'll talk with you from here. Look at this. What a sight. Normally I sit over there somewhere, but it's all submerged because there's so much water in the creek right now. You can't even go there. It doesn't matter. I just love it. I just love to be here. I feel so fortunate that I have come to live in this beautiful environment. Oh, I see a bird. I see various birds. They are sitting there on the rocks. If you can look closely, maybe you can see them. There's birds sitting on these rocks there, and they are picking something from the water that floats by. I do not exactly know what it is, but they are enjoying it as well, just like I am. Here they go. Oh, what a sight. You know, in the summer I am swimming here, but now it's winter. And here, look at all this wood that has been washed ashore here, which kind of shows that it even gets fuller than it is right now. Because how could all of this be dumped here if the creek wasn't even fuller than this? So it came all the way to here. You can imagine how much more water there can be in this creek. And it's wonderful to have a lot of flow, you know. And you know, this is also something about our language. If we have a lot of flow, if we have a lot of talk with embodied language, so much good is going to come from that. And I hope you are going to at some point contact me and talk with me about this, because unless you talk with me, or unless you talk with my friend Annemiek, who also knows about embodied language, you maybe not believe it, but we are really the only two people who know about this. We are the only two people who have gone through this process of, you could say, leaving behind our disembodied language and freeing ourselves up to flow with our embodied language. Yeah. And so we know how that works, and you need reinforcement. Or your embodied language needs to be reinforced. Yeah, it's not you who is reinforced; your behavior is reinforced. So that only occurs if you talk with somebody who knows embodied language, who has embodied language. It's called social reinforcement. Yeah. But for as long as you do not have that social reinforcement, you can already begin to have embodied language if you just talk out loud with yourself, and if you give yourself permission to listen to yourself, and if you hear your own sound and you let yourself know, oh, I enjoy my own sound while I speak. Yeah, if you can have that feeling that you enjoy your own sound while you speak, that's called self-reinforcement, automatic reinforcement. Yeah, This happens by itself because, it's just like music. If you like music, if you like, I don't know, you play, let's say, guitar, and you like to keep on playing the guitar because it is self-stimulating, yeah? It's a form of self-stimulation. And so self-stimulation works because you enjoy the sound, yeah? You enjoy doing it, and that's why you keep on going. But there is more than just enjoying the sound. It is not just only about how you speak. It is also about what you say with that sound. And you can say very, very different things with your embodied sound than with your disembodied sound. And unless you stop your disembodied sound, you cannot hear what you are able to say with your embodied sound. Yeah. And of course, everything you say with your embodied sound pertains to your happiness. It pertains to behavior that you can continue with, that you want to continue with. And this process that I am just explaining, this automatic reinforcement, this joy that you feel in hearing yourself talk, and this joy that you have while you say things which sort of make the light go on, you suddenly feel aware. You feel like you've come out of your darkness, out of your misery, out of your problems with disembodied language. And so when you have done that, you feel like you want to continue with it. But nobody engages consciously, skillfully, deliberately in embodied language. Therefore, nobody reinforces socially your embodied language. Your embodied language can only be reinforced by someone like me, by someone like my friend Annemiek, who knows what it is, and who brings you to this stream, the stream that you see here behind me, and who brings you also to these ancient rocks, to the reality which is solid as a rock. The reality which we have drifted away from with our language. But if you could turn to the reality with your language, you will enjoy your reality. And you will hear in your sound that you are having embodied language. You cannot miss it. You will not doubt whether you are having embodied language or not. If you doubt, that simply means you're not having it. When you have it, you do not doubt. You do not doubt, you do not fear, you are not stressed, you are not worried, you are not even trying to figure anything out anymore because you're free. You're free in nature to be who you are, to be yourself. And you can fully express yourself with your embodied language and experience your language enlightenment. Yes, that's what this is. And I hope you are going to contact me or Annemiek so that we can also bring you along to this wonderful place. To this place, which is of course a place, a location, but for you it is also a place where you are. So you do not necessarily need to be here at this particular spot. You just need to be where you are. And wherever you are is where this flow can be found. In your own language, if you would only allow yourself to speak and to hear your own voice. And then you feel it. You feel like, oh yeah, this is how I like to sound. I like what I'm saying. What I say makes sense. What I say is clear. I understand myself. I'm not confused. I am actually realizing that I wasn't having this for so long. Nobody was talking about this. Nobody was bringing me to this. And yes, there have been some moments that this was momentarily there, but it was never enough. It was never there because we all decided to have this. Yeah, but we can decide to have this, and unless we decide to have this, we are not having this. It is such a gorgeous place here. And yes, you need to make some turns and you need to look at it from all sides. Just explore for yourself. Begin to say to yourself, I can hear myself. I can recognize that I either like my own sound while I speak, or I don't like my sound. And what I say when I don't like my sound doesn't make me feel good. It's only problems. It's always about stress, worry, anxiety, fear, frustration, disappointment. But once that has stopped, once I have said, okay, enough with that, I know what that is. I don't want that. I want happiness. I can have happiness. I can hear it. I can feel it. I want to continue with it. What will I say when I continue to speak with my happy sound? The sound of my well-being. That is my language enlightenment. I'm telling you, folks, I am inviting you into your language enlightenment. And we, as a mankind, I tell you, we are going into a new era. A new era in which we are all in agreement about a very odd and yet unaddressed fact. The fact that I'm talking about right now is that language never exists inside of us. Like the stream, it is out there. And language is overt. Language does not occur inside your body. Language is spoken, heard, written, or read. And so, once we agree on that, once we are, shall we gather at a river to express that we are happy? That's a song I'm singing, and if you look through my songs, you will find that song. Yeah, that's a beautiful song, an old gospel song, and we have always referred to rivers as the flow of life. And so I'm doing that as well, because it is a beautiful metaphor. But it also signifies that language is outside of us. Once we agree on that, our internal imaginary problems are finished. And so there's going to be a revolution in human consciousness, which has to do with how we deal with our language. There's going to be a rejuvenation of human psychology, because right now we are dealing with all kind of stale, outdated, stupid concepts which do not contribute anything to our well-being. Psychology has not delivered, and I know, because I have studied psychology for many years. I have worked in psychology for many years, and I have taught psychology for many years. And I'll tell you, I have read so many books and so many papers and so many scientific studies. And this, what I'm talking about here, is nowhere to be found. And nobody is interested. So, you would do yourself an enormous favor if you would give yourself the opportunity to listen to yourself and to answer your own question, to ask your own question to yourself. to be in charge of your own language and to give yourself the best possible answer to everything that you are dealing with. Yes, you can figure it out. You have to figure it out. You are responsible for your own behavior. And unless you take that responsibility, you will not be able to have embodied language. Everybody who plays the victim card, everybody who wants somebody else to do it for them, because that's ultimately what we want. Yeah, when we play the victim card, we want somebody else to do for us what we supposedly cannot do for ourselves. I say to you, you can have embodied language just like that, without any exercise, without any book, without any course, without paying any money. You can already do this. Just listen, just experiment, take responsibility, and acknowledge that you haven't done this. Yeah, because once you tap into it, you realize like, oh my gosh, why haven't I done this before? Well, you have not done it before because nobody told you to, and I'm telling you. Yeah. So I hope to see you. I hope to hear from you. I hope to be in touch with you. And I hope we are all going to have embodied language. And I am sure, whether you do it or not, I'm going to do it. I am sure that those people who are going to do it, they are going to experience exactly what it is that I'm talking about. That revolution is happening already. It has already happened in me and in Annemiek, and it is happening in a few people who are quietly listening and who is beginning to check it out. I know you're out there, so let us hear from you, and we will just stimulate you to carry on with it. Okay. Have a great day, and I say my goodbye to you from this wonderful place here in Upper Bidwell, where the creek is flowing so beautifully.